Okay. We got lunch in the weird Potemkin village after that, but this was all leading up to, in my opinion, the funniest thing that we saw or did at CPAC.
And I want to say this. So, like I said, I was peaking when I was accosted by the Moon Men, and that was not good. And so I was in the dark night of the soul. I was feeling very bad. I was seeing shit, and all the faces looked monstrous. And we had to walk to see Kudlow. To go to the Potomac Ballroom, you have to walk past the main entrance, and then you have to walk past Radio Row, which is where every one of the accredited media organizations is doing interviews with all the other attendees. And so you're walking in this very narrow corridor with all of these people who are all talking. They're all part of this media hive, and everything was too loud, and the faces were like coming right at me, and they would just be crystalline clear for a second. And they, honest, swear to God, they all looked like they were going to start biting me. Like that, I had what Hunter Thompson called the fear. I actually had it. Like I said, I remember when I went to the RNC, I said that everybody looked like they were from a Ralph Steadman painting. But I actually felt in that moment like I was inside a Ralph Steadman drawing.
Matt was getting the fear, and I was like, Matt, like, let me get you some water. Like, it'll be okay. Like, here, have some water, dude. It'll be fine. So he was like, this is no good. It feels bad. Then it was going like straight down into the valley, then whisked right back up on a gondola.
I earned it. After feeling like, and I swear to God, I felt like I was in the Amazon and they were piranhas and they were going to just strip my fucking bones in a second. I was genuinely terrified. But then a beautiful golden boy saved me.
I'm talking about the unofficial, off the cuff, punk rock, Jacob Wohl, Jack Burkman, and Laura Loomer press conference.
Wow.
That
so
was
the Virgil by this point had joined us. So the whole team was assembled for this like ad hoc press conference because I guess Jacob and Jack weren't given credentials to CPAC. Laura was, but we'll get to the funny turn on that in a little bit.
Again, and we were too.
We were.
Yeah.
But just put a point on this. Everybody emailed earlier to get credentials. I never got an email back from CPAC giving me my credentials. And I just walked into the media room at the day and was like, can I please have credentials? I'm with these guys. And they were like, yeah, here you go. So that's how easy it is to get.
So you remember how I told you how like in the Gaylord Convention Center is like this gigantic like glass atrium that's like 8 stories high. And we were on like the sun just pouring in. And Jacob led us to basically like the edge of a cliff.
Yeah.
Looking over like this fake
Erie.
village.
We were all
yes, we were the Erie.
Everybody who wanted to see the Jacob thing was sort of milling around in this area. And no one knew exactly where it was going to be because there's a million places it could be technically called the lobby. So we didn't want to miss it. And I figured he's only doing this for the press. He's not going to start doing it if nobody's there. He's going to find us. And sure enough, eventually he came into the lobby and he just, Pied Piper of Hamelin style, just leads us all onto this outcropping area where the atrium is. Yes, all the sun pouring in.
It was dappled as fuck.
We were dappled.
We were dappled up. So Jacob, Jack Burkman, Laura Loomer there to give, in their words, the event of CPAC, the most barn
bombshell.
Like this is like the bombshell. This is what's going to make headlines. This is what's going to make news. He delivered it to us and literally 6s of other people,
all of whom were hostile press there to laugh at him.
Yeah.
Every single person.
This was a comedy performance.
Yeah,
So-
every other like actual earnest attendee was like, fucking, they were watching like Rick Perry talk about the future of coal or something. They were not watching this shit.
So we get there, he immediately hands out in what he is calling a confidential report. I'm holding it in my hand right now. It is literally like 5 pages stapled together, just Times New Roman 12-point font. Looks like something you would give in to like a class you were trying to get a C in your freshman year of college. They're just not really putting in much effort.
Yeah, there's pictures in it.
Yeah, it says confidential report, investigation of Representative Ilhan Omar, February 2019. And then he's like, does everyone have a copy of this? And at the bottom of each page, it says privileged and strictly confidential. So this is
the first thing we see.
You remember like last week they like them and that Ali guy all went to Dinkytown.
Ali was there, by the way.
Yeah, they all went to Dinkytown and got dinky burgers in Minneapolis, but like the Somali warlords who have taken over there stopped them from doing it or something. So this this is their investigation, and we knew, like, I was like, this is going to be about how she married her brother, right?
Yeah.
And lo and behold, that's exactly what it was about.
Yeah, but so he's like, he was giving the presentation from this dossier, which is
In front of the moon door, by the way.
right. He was at the moon door and he's giving the presentation. Like his verbal presentation had like nothing to do with the document, though. It was just like you would momentarily look up and be able to hear him, because of course he wasn't mic'd and people are yelling. But when you did hear him, he'd be like, and as you know, Somalis have an Islamic style warlock in their community that helps them change faces. And then you'd look back at the document and it would just be like poorly translated Instagram screenshots.
Okay, I want to read. This is from the document provided. Under bold, underline, findings. The following findings are based on an extensive investigation, including forensic analysis, cyber intelligence, and in-person interviews with well-placed human sources. And the cyber intelligence is literally just following on Instagram and doing screenshots.
And then mistranslating from whatever language, Somali.
I just like, again, like the whole thing was that she married her brother to get citizenship in America. Can't say that there anything too bulletproof was presented. It's gonna be hard for the MSM to fucking ignore this one. But I gotta say, if it is true, I think that owns and is awesome. Like if that's the fucking hustle she pulled to go from being in a refugee camp to in Congress in America doing good work,
Sure as hell
that's
wanted
fucking
it more than the
cool.
rest of you dumbass, lazy motherfuckers.
Okay, can we talk about Jack Burkman though?
Jack Burkman was wearing the most dishonest outfit I've ever seen. He was wearing a pinstripe suit with a black turtleneck. Like literally the outfit you wear when you're about to get beaten up for a gambling debt.
He is like uncanny looking guy. He's got the hair. He's stepped out of a 1996 Vivid porno video. When he has sex, it is with saxophones in the background. The woman is wearing white pumps. She's got pearl necklace on. She's got crispy bangs.
Felix,
like that's the only way it happens.
Felix, usually like Jack Burkman was there, and he'd be like, "By the way, if you're here for my press conference against my lawsuit against Domino's Pizza, half-hour free delivery, that'll be later in the afternoon."
Yeah, Burkman looks like he just like it looks like he's just like the Katamari Damacy of lawsuits. Like he just rolls around the world and he's like, Domino's Pizza Tracker dishonest? Yeah, I'm getting on that. Illinois married her brother, getting on that.
Robert Mueller raped a woman,
getting on that.
Yeah.
Black.com, whatever, getting on that. He's just
but like he's a lawsuit against Black.com for discriminating against hiring him as an ad porn actor.
Yeah.
And then next to them was Laura Loomer, who had a shirt on that had her picture, like a drawing of her with tape over her mouth. But the problem is, that was like 4 looks and nose jobs ago, so she looks completely different.
That's the thing about Loomer, that it's already a sign that you're unwell if you're wearing a T-shirt with your face on it.
Yeah, bad sign.
Not very many people can pull that off and convey sanity or competence.
Yeah.
But her problem is, of course, that she seems to change her look once a week.
Dude, she's a faceless woman. Laura Loomer is Arya Stark.
So that heightens. That's like a new level of looking unwell. That you're wearing a shirt with your face on it that looks nothing like you
Yeah, it
anymore.
didn't look anything like her because she's blonde in the picture on her shirt, and she now has black hair. It's very confusing.
And again, I so in this scrum, in the Erie, overlooking the moon door. There's, like I said, 6 of people there, virtually all of them laughing. And I can't overstate how funny
I was crying.
And here's the thing. I was a little bit like off to the side. I had sort of separated from Felix, Matt, and Virgil. And during this whole press conference, we're like, Jacob Wohl is presenting it just totally straight-faced. Completely straight-faced. I look over and you can hear it like while he's going on. And there's video clips of this where you can hear Felix talking about Game of Thrones. And Matt is just red-faced, pouring sweat, crying from laughing. Just gales of laughter are coming out of him. And we were like 3 feet away from them, so they could see and hear all of this. But again, just
No
unfazed, no acknowledgement.
I'm just like so like when I'm totally alone, I'm like at my computer, I'm like, no, I don't even have like a cam on. I'm on a Discord. I'm like, my hair looks like shit. I'm such a fucking pussy. I hope I'm killed by a sniper across my balcony. And Jacob will like literally hears like people like basically screaming and a man out of his mind on acid crying, laughing at him. He hears me calling him Young Griff and his scumbag for calling him John Connington. And he's like, all going to plan.
No, he has
keep it going.
a perfect poker face, no reaction.
No,
really
it's
impressive,
pretty
actually.
impressive.
He's basically a robot.
When Laura Loomer said that, because they described half of it was complaining that Omar wouldn't talk with them, and I can't imagine why. I want to. But at one point she says, and I went to Representative Omar. I Loomered her. And when she said she Loomered her, I was dead. I was outside of my body for a minute.
No, yeah, I wasn't on any. I feel like I depersonalized in a good way. I feel like I spent the entire week in third person mode.
So I kind of felt bad because we're all there just laughing and riffing and heckling them. And I thought, and we're surrounded by, like a dozen or so journalists. And I thought, oh, are these guys mad because we're ruining their video?
No, they're all dying
But
laughing.
no, they're also laughing and just heckling them and just asking inane questions of them. And that's when I realized what, this trio, what the Three Musketeers do by going from town to town and putting on these press conferences. They're basically medieval jongleurs. They are circus actors there because all sorts of entertainments are banned.
Yeah,
and
the tumbling bear died, so they had to get these people.
And they just go around from village to village to entertain the small folk. Except in this case, the small folk, the only people who pay attention to them are journalists because all their like online fans are housebound.
No, that's the thing, is that it was a totally self-contained experience. It was entirely for the benefit of these journalists. It was not going to change anyone's mind. It's not going to penetrate the MSM. Nobody but housebound boomers are even going to hear about it on Twitter. It's just for our benefit. And that's when I started to think that Jacob Wohl must be some sort of transcendent comic genius, and that this is actually the only good bit going on right now of all the people trying to do bits, because we're all kind of like, late capitalism is just a giant improv class, and we're all just doing bits for each other. Yep. Most of them suck because most improv is bad. A few of them are decent. More of them are okay, and a few are very good. I feel like he's the only one who's the best. He's the John fucking Belushi of late capitalism, because he doesn't care how anybody sees him. All of us, we're bound by the fact that we have an audience that we want to reflect well on us. We have an audience of people we want to think that we're smart or funny or good people. Same thing for all the would-be carnival barkers on the right. They have an audience that they want to think that they're good in some way. Jacob Wohl does not care, and so it's just pure performance. And like at the end of it, Will Sommer asked him, "Hey, what about that thing where you said Robert Mueller raped that lady?" He goes, "Yeah, we're done with that."
Yeah, that was my old set. What are you talking about? Yeah. No, I've got a new 5 minutes. And so my honest to God recommendation to you is that if Wohl and Loomer are coming to your town, do not miss that show.
It's the funniest thing.
It's
see.
It's like when the Sex Pistols played in Manchester for the first time. Yeah. Everyone, not many people saw it, but everyone who did went on to form a band. Or the Velvet Underground. Can we play the clip? I did get the chance to ask the first question at the press conference. Can we play a clip of my cue?
All right, I want to open it up to questions from the press and the public. The public's free to ask questions as well.
Confidential. Is it okay if I read it?
All right, questions from the public or the press.
Is it confidential?
It's for release. It's for release. This is hereby released. You can post it. And by the way, we're answering questions about the report.
This is confidential, though. Is it okay if other people read it?
Go ahead, Will.
It's for release. Yeah, have either of you talked to the FBI or other law enforcement about the Mueller press conference?
We're finished with that, and no, we haven't talked to anybody. Go ahead.
Okay.